But I just want to fight, yeah, whoever wants it, whether that's John Jones or somebody else, I will fight somebody sometime soon.
Do you have a hard deadline, a date in mind that you'd give him before you take a fight?
I just want to fight as soon as possible. I'm not really too bothered, to be honest. I'll see what they say. I'm open. So we'll see.
There's nowhere to go for Johnny. He either has to fight me or retire now. If he does retire, everyone knows that he will have been avoiding me. I want to fight. Absolutely, I want to fight. If that's against John Jones or not, I'm just waiting on a date, man. Dana White's come out this week and said that John Jones is happy to do it. I've been in the rooms with the UFC and they've told me it's happening. I'm not chasing John Jones. The reason I want to fight John Jones is because he's got the belt. He's #1 heavyweight walking around on planet Earth. But we need to find out who the guy is. If it's not John Jones, get out of the way. I'll fight someone else. Happy days.
Tom Aspinall has just issued another warning to John Jones, urging him to take the flight as soon as possible. On the other hand, Joe Rogan mentioned that John Jones is apparently thinking about retiring. He stated that Jones will have to retire someday, but he wasn't suggesting that he should retire right away. Instead, Rogan emphasized that Jones should give it some thought. He also mentioned that Jones deserves all the time he wants and can fight whenever he chooses, referring to him as the greatest of all time, GOAT.
Well, apparently John is thinking about retiring.
Yeah.
And he should. I mean, he's going to have to someday. He should. I'm not saying he should retire. I'm saying he should think about it. Give the man all the time he wants. He can fight whenever he wants to fight. That's John Jones. He's the GOAT.
However, Demetrius Johnson said John Jones would easily defeat Tom Aspinall. Despite Aspinall being athletic and a great fighter, he'd prefer to see Jones versus Aspinall over a fight with Alex Pereira. Johnson believes Aspinall is a good champion, but Jones would smoke him. When asked why the fight isn't happening, he mentioned that Aspinall is asking for $30 million, which could be holding things up.
John Jones will smoke Tom Aspinall.
I don't know, man.
Man, he'll smoke Tom Aspinall.
Tom Aspinall is athletic. I think Tom Aspinall will try to take the fight to John Jones. And it'll be interesting to see. Like, I'd rather see that fight over Alex Pereira.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion.
I would like to see that fight over Alex, but come on, man. Aspinall is a great fighter. Yep. He's a good champion.
Aspinall.
That's what I said. John Jones will smoke Aspinall.
Yeah.
Smoke him.
I can't wait to see. I hope it happens. That's the fight that needs to happen. I think Tom Aspinall versus John Jones needs to happen.
Why do you think there's so much friction there? Why do you think it's not happening? Because we see so much.
I think John Jones said he wants $30 million.
Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen discussed John Jones wanting 6 months to prepare for Tom Aspinall, and they felt it was a fair request. Schaub said that while he wouldn't bet against John, he believed Aspinall should be the underdog in the fight. He mentioned that in John's prime, he didn't look great against fighters like Stipe and Cyril Gane, so there are still question marks about Jones. Brian suggested that Aspinall's size and skill make him a strong contender, but noted that Jones could still win, especially with his jiu-jitsu, potentially by taking Aspinall down. He predicted John should be a slight underdog, around plus 120.
Yeah, it came out John Jones wants 6 months to prepare for Aspinall.
I think that's fair. What do you feel about that?
It makes sense.
Where do you put your money?
I would not have bet against John, but I do think he should be an underdog in that fight.
Damn.
Aspinall's young in his prime.
So
John didn't look great, I don't think, against Stipe. Didn't look great against Cyril Gane.
Yeah.
We don't know. There's so many question marks on John. You know, my money would probably be on Aspinall, but John's the greatest to ever do it. So you don't want to count him out. I would say John should be like a plus 120 because there's question marks.
Aspinall's a big boy.
And very, very skilled.
And
but he has some holes. His defense is a little.
Well, he's also got holes in. If John grabs that black belt in jiu-jitsu is all good, but if John grabs him, puts him on his back, that's a possibility too.
Oh yeah, that's probably his best bet because he's not going to knock him out.
No.
However, in an interview, Tom Aspinall stated that he just wants to fight, whether it's John Jones or someone else. He mentioned that he's not too bothered about a specific deadline and is open to fighting as soon as possible. Aspinall said he would wait to see what the UFC says, but he's ready to compete whenever the opportunity comes.
But I just want to fight, yeah, whoever wants it, whether that's John Jones or somebody else, I will fight somebody sometime soon.
Do you have a hard deadline, a date in mind that you'd give him before you take a fight?
I just want to fight as soon as possible. I'm not really too bothered, to be honest. I'll see what they say. I'm open. So we'll see.
Tom Aspinall further said that he doesn't have a specific message for John Jones. He expressed that he's had enough and simply wants to fight. Aspinall emphasized that he's not bothered about who it is. He just wants to get in the cage and compete.
John Jones listening to this right now, what is your message to the man?
I don't have a message. I don't. I've had enough. Let me fight.
There it is.
Let me fight. Somebody. I'm not bothered who it is, just let me fight.
Moreover, Rampage Jackson said that Jon Jones is the greatest of all time in his book and one of the best fighters out there. He recently watched Tom Aspinall fight for the first time and acknowledged that Aspinall is a great fighter and a solid champion. However, Jackson mentioned that it would be tough for him to ever say anyone could beat Jon Jones until it actually happens.
Jones versus Tom Aspinall. No, Jon Jones is the GOAT in my book. You know, he's one of the best. And I recently saw Aspinall fight for the first time recently, and he's a great fighter, and he's a great champion. But I think it'll be tough for me to ever say that anybody will beat Jon Jones until it happens.
Aljamain Sterling said that it's a very intriguing fight, but it would be super hard for him to bet against someone like Jon Jones. He mentioned that Jones's mindset and approach to the fight make him a difficult opponent to bet against. While Sterling acknowledged that Tom Aspinall has all the physical gifts to potentially win, he emphasized that if Jones gets Aspinall on the ground, it would likely be a very tough night for Aspinall.
It's a very intriguing fight. If I had to put money on it, it'd be super hard for me to bet against a guy like Jones, just because I know the mindset that he comes in with. Not saying Aspinall couldn't get it done because of all those physical gifts that he has. Dog, betting against a guy like that, who, if he gets you on the ground, that's just a bad night.
In another interview, Tom Aspinall said Jon Jones has no choice but to either fight him or retire. If Jon retires, Aspinall believes it would show he's avoiding the fight. Aspinall clarified that he's not chasing Jones, but wants to face him because he holds the heavyweight title. He confirmed the UFC told him the fight is happening, and if Jon isn't the one, he'll fight someone else.
There's nowhere to go for Johnny. He either has to fight me or retire now. If he does retire, everyone knows that he will have been avoiding me. I want to fight. Absolutely, I want to fight. If that's against Jon Jones or not, I'm just waiting on a date, man. Dana White's come out this week and said that Jon Jones is happy to do it. I've been in the rooms with the UFC, and they've told me it's happening. I'm not chasing Jon Jones. The reason I want to fight Jon Jones is because he's got the belt. He's #1 heavyweight walking around on planet Earth. But we need to find out who the guy is. If it's not Jon Jones, get out of the way. I'll fight someone else. Happy days.
Moreover, Israel Adesanya said that Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall are similar in size, with Aspinall being only slightly taller, but noted that Aspinall is thicker than expected. Adesanya pointed out the speed of Aspinall as a potential danger, but emphasized that when it comes to grappling, although Aspinall is a black belt, Jon Jones's grappling skills are on another level. He concluded by saying that if the two never fight, there will never be a definitive answer to who would win.
But he's the same height as me, if not an inch taller, but thick. Yeah. And I was like, you're a lot thicker than I would expect. Yeah. And the speed, that's the thing that I'm like, okay, that's the danger. But again, grappling, he's a black belt, but Jon is, it's different. Yeah. But I don't know, man. They got to fight. But if they don't ever fight, we'll never know.
Kamaru Usman shared his opinion that Tom Aspinall is the most dangerous heavyweight at the moment and represents the greatest threat to Jon Jones's dominance. However, he also advised Jones to focus on securing his financial future before accepting such a high-risk fight.
You hit the nail on the head. I do think Tom Aspinall is the most dangerous heavyweight right now. 100% the biggest threat to pry that belt away from Jon Jones. But Jon has got to get that bag.
Francis Ngannou shared his thoughts on Jon Jones's hesitation to fight Tom Aspinall, suggesting that while Aspinall needs the fight to prove his worth, Jones doesn't stand to gain much from it apart from financial incentives. He raised the question of whether fans would rather see Jones face Aspinall or Alex Pereira, pointing out that Aspinall would likely be a more difficult opponent due to his stronger wrestling and grappling abilities.
He keeps saying he doesn't want Aspinall.
Aspinall need that fight. I don't need it. When you look at it, pretty much true. There's nothing that he's going to make winning that fight if it's not money. But for Aspinall, that will be everything.
Would you rather see him face Aspinall or would you rather see him face Pereira?
Aspinall will be a more challenging fight because Aspinall responds to a ground game better than Pereira. Aspinall will respond better in wrestling than Pereira. He can do whatever he wants.
Sean O'Malley shared his thoughts on Jon Jones's legacy, acknowledging that regardless of the outcome, Jones will always be regarded as one of the greatest. However, O'Malley cautioned that if Jones chooses to face Tom Aspinall and ends up losing, some might argue that he was past his prime. He emphasized the risk Jones takes in potentially damaging his legacy by taking on such a challenging fight and not securing a victory.
Tom Aspinall? God damn. It's like you risk going down as the, no matter what, you don't have to fight again. Greatest of all time, people will say that. You're the greatest of all time. Greatest of all, Jon Jones. before you risk it, go fight Tom Aspinall, possibly lose, and then it's like, he was the greatest. Then they're saying, yeah, but he wasn't in his prime.
Frank Mir thinks Tom Aspinall could be one of the most dangerous opponents for Jon Jones at the moment, but he still believes Jones would come out on top, primarily due to his superior wrestling. Mir believes Jones could take Aspinall down, dominate from the top, and neutralize his jiu-jitsu with his ground and pound. He also mentioned that even if Jones were to defeat Aspinall, it wouldn't significantly impact his career, as most already consider him one of the greatest fighters of all time.
I think Tom might have the best chance of anybody to beat Jon right now. But that being said, I still think Jon wins the fight just because of his wrestling. I think he puts, Tom on his back and is able to nullify his jiu-jitsu from being top position with his elbows and control. What does Jon win to take that fight? He goes out there and beats Tom. Is it really going to make or break his career? I don't think anybody cares.
So what are your thoughts on this? Share your thoughts in the comment section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video.